Yo, nephew, hand me that bar stool. You know what it is, and for what it's worth. You can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time, shine time, always in the game, never ever on the sideline. You know what it is, and for what it's worth. You can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time, shine time, always in the game, never ever on the sideline. Fresh and clean.
Welcome to 21st and Prime. Jamie Dukes, my man Rone, sponsored by Heineken 00. Rone gave me a compliment earlier, Jamie, that I don't know if you heard. He said, Your face is looking lean and mean. Yeah. And I said, Rone, I got my summer look on, man. I'm getting out there, I'm training with the kids, I'm running with the kids. My goal is in this next several weeks of training, I'm going to take my shirt off. I'm going to have our camera guy take a picture and cut all the heads off of all 110 kids on the roster. And I'm going to say, which one is Coach Prime? And I want everybody to try to figure it out. That's what I want.
69 calories.
Yes.
0 alcohol. That's why you stay mean and lean. As Jake Gates used to say, Ron, here's a good one for you, Jake. And Jimmy Johnson took it over. Jake Gates said, he was the head legendary coach at Florida A&M University. I'm looking for players that are agile, mobile, and hostile. That's what Coach Prime is looking for, players that are agile, mobile, and hostile.
Love that.
Speaking of agile, mobile, and hostile, Frank Clark of the Chiefs, arrested for having an Uzi in his car. Everybody knows what an Uzi is in his car. But Contavious Caldwell-Pope of the Lakers got robbed in the same week at his house for over 150 grand, man. 150 grand. See, so usually when I hear that somebody got robbed like that, I start thinking, how did this happen? Was there a woman involved? Did she bring people to, let them know where you were, where you lived, and case the house and all that, let them know what the entry points and all that? Was it a homie? Was it somebody that had been there before, or did someone just get a bead on you and follow you and take advantage of it? So I just wonder how that went down. That's my curiosity. How did that go down? I'm glad it wasn't any gunplay involved, because if you pull out a gun, you're gonna have to use it, and it's not going to end right.
And they think it was an inside job. I've seen people saying that they think that it's some kind of inside job. I don't know exactly how, but it says that 3 men pulled up, jumped out of vehicle, guns drawn. So it was a serious situation. But we have the Contavious Caldwell-Pope situation. We have the Frank Clark situation. Frank Clark is obviously thinking to himself, I don't want to be in the situation that Contavious Caldwell-Pope is in. Like, he is trying to protect himself against something that's actually happening. So where is the middle ground? Should these dudes be protecting themselves?
First of all, there's a fundamental problem, Rome. There's a fundamental problem. And if the story go correctly, I think the Uzi was illegal or something like that in the Clark situation.
If it's fully automatic.
Yeah, that is just wrong right there. Why can't you get something with your name on it? I'm a gun advocate. You sitting there with a dude right over there. He got all the guns you can want. Why can't you put your name on it because that gun might have blood on it? That's the thing I don't understand with these guys that are getting these illegal guns. Hey, look, carry the gun, fine. Carry the license. Make sure it ain't a street gun that's got might have some count on it. And that's the thing that bothers me with the guys is it's just stupid. Why would you get arrested for something you don't even know what the history is when you can afford to have, if anything else, he might have had $20,000, $30,000 on him cash. So that's why he's carrying it. But at least have a dang legal gun. It's just so stupid.
Legal or illegal, that's not the point. The point is the gun. If you pull out that gun, you're going to have to use that gun. Are you ready for those ramifications of that gun? My sons and I had this discussion because in Texas, there's everything here. You care. You care. You can do your thing. Everything is legal. That's what it is.
I heard that 13-year-olds, girls could carry guns out there in school.
Yeah, you don't.
They don't play out here.
Sons, you guys don't want to do that, because if you do that, if you pull out a gun, you're going to have to use it. You don't want to do that. If somebody gonna rob you, give them everything you got. Live to see another day.
So
that's my take on that.
Should Contavious Caldwell-Pope, should he have had a gun himself? would that have prevented the situation?
No,
if he
somebody
was
would have
strapped
died
up?
if he had the gun.
Somebody probably would have died. If he would have pulled out the gun, somebody would have probably died.
Let me give you an example. So, a couple of them, but most recently is Smith, the defensive lineman for the New Orleans Saints. Okay, if you remember the story, I used to call him the Fresh Prince of Bourbon Street. So I think he and Will Smith, that's his name, Will Smith. So he was a defensive
from Ohio State, right?
Yeah. He and his wife are in the car. Okay. Now you got a road rage situation. So, and again, memory serving, but they were both, everybody had guns supposedly. Bang, 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 he's dead. But what was bad about that, his wife is in the car. There can't be anything that happens if the wife is in the car. If the kids are in the car, bite your tongue, move on. You can't have those people in the car. If you want to be stupid, and may he rest in peace.
It is a dicey situation, and athletes have to deal with it every day. And in the last episode, we talked about wanting to make a dog out of a cat, making sure someone has a dog in them. So you take them to the other side of the tracks and try to instill a little bit of the dog in them. But maybe this is a situation where that went wrong a little bit.
Let me ask you this question. Okay. So Rone, you become the next
Dana Beers.
If God should only bless me so much.
The cool Bob Costas. I don't know. The hip Bob Costas.
Right.
Get Rone somebody else. Get Rone somebody else. I ain't with that. Get Rone somebody else.
Okay. Ryan Seacrest.
No. Adam Sandler.
Ryan Seacrest.
Adam Sandler.
I'll take any of it. Any of it.
You become Adam Sandler in his prime. All right. And you're telling me your street cred is so important that you got to carry a firearm with your family and bring your people where you got to have a gun with you, and you're Adam Sandler. You got to do that. You're Adam Sandler. You're Jerry Seinfeld. You've got to carry the gun. You have to do that for your cred.
I'm the type of person, no matter what situation I'm in, I'm going to try and have somebody else do the work for me. So if I get a new dresser from IKEA, I'm going to try and get somebody else to put it together for me. If I'm trying to get my laundry, I'll send out. And so that means that if I'm in that situation, I'm going to hire security. I'm going to get a 6'8", 400-pound dude who feels like he loves to do that kind of thing and put him in charge of that situation and make sure I don't have to worry about it.
Or you can have a whole police force. Now you can get an entire police force.
Why don't we ever hear about certain people getting robbed? Why do we only hear about certain people getting robbed and we never hear about certain people getting robbed? Is it our location? Is it the people that we frequent? Is it the relationships that we garnish? Is it the attention that we're seeking that draws the attention that we're not seeking? What is it?
Okay, Coach, all right, let's back up a step. Are we being hypocritical because we did it?
Explain.
So during our time, now I can't remember going into the hood, into the hood when we were driving the Corvettes and all that. I don't remember us doing that. When we were playing, going into neighborhoods that we didn't need to be in. I'm trying to remember when we were playing.
They went to Magic City. Every day they ended with a Y. What do you mean we didn't? To get to Magic City, what do you think you passed through? Buckhead?
Downtown? It wasn't bad downtown.
Jamie, stop. You stopped to a red light, somebody jumping on your windshield.
That's because you came in 20.
Window.
That's downtown, though. That's like New York City.
No, stop, man. Stop.
What?
Stop, dog.
What are you saying exactly?
I'm saying we were in those environments.
Okay, so then we're being hypocrites. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, we were in those environments.
I don't see that. Okay. So then everybody in that case, during that time period in life, now, I don't think you carried a gun into the club, but I mean, I never, we were pretty secure where we were. Mm-hmm. Why the need to carry the gun? That's the question.
Because you knew you were somewhat of a target at that point in time.
You were a target at prime. You were prime.
Somebody did. I didn't carry a gun. I'm like, Rone, somebody carried a gun. I didn't carry a gun.
Right. That's my point. Why? But Dion didn't have to carry the gun. Now Plaxico felt he had to
I
carry
wasn't carrying no gun.
Right.
I wasn't doing that. Somebody was.
Right.
I wasn't doing that.
But somebody, but that my point.
I wasn't about to pull no trigger. Somebody would.
And why not? Why not? If you got $150,000 cash on you, you could pay somebody $500.
If I got $1,000 cash on me, that's a lot of money for me. Trust me. If I got over 100, if you rob me, you practice it. You rehearse it. Because you ain't gonna get nothing.
Why?
You ain't getting nothing.
Why carry the gun?
I'd rather, if you rob me, you should rob me for some advice.
He's getting that guy advice at gunpoint.
Tell me how to make it. Well, let me tell you something. On Mondays, you need that's the best thing. Rob me of what I got on the inside of me. Not what I got.
Give me some wisdom. Give me the 48 laws of power.
Coach, if you rob me, you better get what I got on the inside. Because what I got on the outside, it ain't gonna have no value.
That's good. That's
all knockoff. They ain't real.
That's good.
So don't. It ain't nothing.
But why the gun? You still ain't answered the question. Either one of y'all. Why carry the gun? You're LeBron James. Why carry a gun? You're Chris Paul. Why would you carry a gun?
They're not carrying guns. They got somebody who does.
No, they're carrying guns. That's why they're getting arrested.
No, those two that you mentioned ain't carrying no guns. Those other guys are carrying guns.
I'm trying to figure out why those other guys are carrying a gun. That's all I'm asking. You're closer to the players. I'm trying to figure out why they're carrying the gun. You got $150,000 now. You got to really have $150,000 cash on you. You can pay. We know we can pay anybody to carry the gun.
So you're saying why
you have to carry the gun? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
Why is Frank Clark have the
Uzi on any of the dudes carrying the gun when you got that kind of money?
That's a good question, James.
I got an idea. I think that some people think that they're built different. I think that they're like, these dudes are like this, but I'm built different. I'm cut from the cloth. I'm like actually from out here, and so I'm gonna act like I get it done out here.
We're from out here. I grew up in the same neighborhood. My friends carry guns. I'm trying to. When you become the franchise, when you become the brand, when you have something to lose, I'm just trying to figure out why in the heck you got to carry the gun. That's what I don't understand. It doesn't matter, when Rone, you should never be carrying a gun now. Now, prior to this, when you had the Phillies cap on, you could have carried it. But right now, Dave should not be carrying a gun. I think
it makes them feel more secure. It makes them feel more confident. It makes them feel more of a man. Like, if it go down, I'm ready. No, dog. It's consequences to this game. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's some people who it's a machoism thing, it's an ego thing, but at the end of the day, I think some guys feel like Frank Clark feels like if he has a gun, he'll never be Contavious Caldwell Pope.
Big old 6 foot Frank Clark. Big old 6'6". Coach, speaking of credit and egos, Kerry Kittles didn't invite, or let me rephrase it, didn't invite. Tim Tebow wanted to go to Kerry Kittle's tight end camp.
George Kittle.
Kerry Kittle. I think basketball. I said it on television one time. George Kittle. You had me? Okay.
Yes. And so my question is, when I saw the story, it reminded me of the story you talked about last week about who let him in the room. They didn't want to let Tebow in the room.
He ain't earned it yet. You got to earn that, dog. You can't just give your wrong. In the hood, and I know you know this because you got hood credentials, you got hood tendencies.
You got hood credentials.
You got hood tendencies. Rone destroyed some guys from the hood.
More hood tendencies than I got.
Let's get that straight.
I'm afraid of Rone.
Don't sleep on
Rone.
Rone has a ghetto card, and it's validated. It's been validated for years. Dude, I forgot what I was getting ready to say.
Talking about Tebow.
But I appreciate it. I appreciate this credential. I'm about to clip this, and I'm going to put it on a business card, and I'm going to take it somewhere.
How does he get in the room? How does he get in the room, okay?
I still forgot what I was going to say. It'll come back to me.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as I have my credential, that's all that matters to me. I'm clipping this. I'm taking this everywhere with me. But Tim Tebow didn't earn it. He didn't earn it.
You can't. What I was getting ready to say, you cannot give yourself in the inner city a nickname. Like you can't call yourself Prime. I couldn't give myself that. One of the homies had to give me that. All right. Richard Fain, one of my childhood friends, the best friend. I dropped 36 that night, had a couple dumps back to back. He said, man, you prime time. I said, you're right. That's how prime came about.
By the way, Richard, my son was asking about the other day. What's up, Richard?
Yeah, not baseball, not football, but basketball. You can't call yourself a tight end, dog. You can't do that. You got to get in and earn that. When you earn that and you have some stripes for at least a year, then they may invite you in. But you can't just say, hey, man, I'm a tight end. I want to come to the. It don't work like that, though.
I mean, yeah, Tim Tebow could make it in the backup quarterbacks camp. He could make it in the former Heisman Trophy winners camp, but he's not a tight end yet. He has as much of a shot to get cut from the team as he does being a tight end, and he's going to try and use name recognition to get on. But while we're talking about tight ends, it's a rarity on this show. Greg Olsen, a tight end, he's pissed off about how tight ends are treated in the league. He says they block the same defensive ends as the $15 million left tackle, and they run the same routes as the $15 million wide receiver, but they only get paid $7 million. Is he right about tight ends? Is that the most disrespected position in football, or does he just want a bag?
I think running backs are the most disrespected position in football right now.
By
running
far.
backs are. They really are. Tight ends, oftentimes in some schemes are necessary. Some aren't, because you got this age of the receiver. The tight end and the fullback, you got to be a dog to even get on the field and to be involved in the system. We have some tight ends that historically are really good right now. We got a few of them that are really, really good. They're breaking records, and the size and the statue.
They're getting paid too, though.
Yeah, and they're grunkish. And they're getting paid. I think you can't wait to make this statement when the door is closing behind you. You should have fought for this when you was in your prime. Like, Rone, that's why I took a stance for our guys. We were once that position. Defensive backs was once that position. I hadn't played a snap in the NFL and was the first $1 million DB ever. Hadn't played a snap. Did people get upset? Yeah. Did current players get upset at me? Yeah. But business-minded players said, okay, I see what he doing. I see where he going. I see where he taking this. Now those veterans could come back and say, well, you just paid him such and such. I want mine. Okay, you got yours. Then I was the first $2 million coin. Skip 2. I skipped 3, 4. Now the first $5 million DB. So and 8, So you can't wait to make that fight. You got to make that fight while you're in that thing. There's a lot of validity to that, but you can't make that fight when you're out of it. You can't do it.
It does seem like certain position groups, left tackle, right tackle, cornerback, some of these premium wide receivers, they get paid more. Do you think that that's just a market value thing, or are they more valuable?
Let me give it to you. Let me give it to you. It starts with one premise, all right? The premise is the quarterback, all right? So the quarterback is the guy. So the question becomes, who can impact the quarterback? On offense, tackle, especially left tackle in previous ages. Now they're coming from all different angles. So you wanted to have that Munoz, that Mike Kent. Get Mike Kent in the Hall of Fame while you're at it. You wanted to have that signature tackle. You see what I'm saying? Because he affected the quarterback. Why do they pay the defensive ends? Because the defensive ends directly affect the quarterback. The inside linebackers, they're right there with the running backs. You know what I'm saying? So it's because it's all about who affects the most important player on the field, cornerback.
The most important player oftentimes to the quarterback, Rone, is the left tackle, like Jamie said, and the wide receivers. Okay, so you see a transition. Quarterback gets paid, left tackle makes a lot of money, wide receivers make a lot of money. Okay, the guards, center, running back, okay. Now, like Jamie said, who affects the quarterback? Those ends that can rush and that DB that can stop his guy from catching the ball, making sure he's successful. Those are the highest paid guys.
It's the priority piece of the buck.
It's the priorities.
But Kittle's, he's doing well. When you put up numbers at the position, when Olsen was playing, he was the highest paid tight end back then. That's what's forgotten. But you can't, the problem is they're not at the tight end or interior lineman in those positions there. They're not in a position where the whole herd can eat all the time.
Yeah.
So wide receivers.
Kittles and Kelsey
okay.
are just, they're taking that position to do
But Graham and Olsen were those guys in their era.
Once upon a time.
They got paid top dollar.
Right. You're right.
He got a $40 million contract. He can't be complaining. He was the highest paid tight end in the league. Shut up. It's a part of the system, but you have to understand that the nomenclature of the system starts with that QB.
That's right.
And then whoever can make that QB have a hard hit. Because see, the last piece I'll say is, Aaron Donald's not a defensive end, but Aaron Donald's 13 sacks waiting to happen all the time. So we'll pay a defensive tackle $22 million a year because he's wreaking havoc. But the next defensive tackle may not be making but 12 or 10. Simon,
my problem would be from the defensive side saying, why you guys let somebody on the same field make double the amount of money you make? Aaron Donald is the best, right? Makes $22 million. The quarterback making 44. Ain't nowhere in the world if I'm in this era, I'm going to stand for somebody on the same football field I'm playing on makes double the amount of money that I make. So you're saying my impact ain't half of what his is? Ain't nowhere in the world. I would have stood for that. I would have stood for all defensive players saying, we ain't doing this. We're going to take a stand today. Pay me. Pay me.
And honestly, cornerbacks do get paid. So why is it that when we look at the camps of like high schoolers or young like cornerback wide receiver camps, why are there 300 wide receivers and 35 cornerbacks? Why are there so few people who are trying to be cornerbacks if cornerbacks are one of those positions that are getting paid?
They don't get the ball, man.
They don't get the ball, and it's not easy. Okay, what's the first thing you do when you with your friends? Okay, when you with your friends and y'all go out to the park or you tailgate, first thing somebody grab a ball or somebody say go deep. I never see somebody grab a ball or somebody say, I'm going to cover you.
Nobody wants to do it?
No, that's not an easy task, man. That's not an easy task.
But Rome, but this is what brings me to a conversation that my dear friend for a long time has. See, the reason, like you've heard me say that I said Jerry Rice, I believe, is the greatest football player of all time was because he got the touches. Jerry Rice has 220 touchdowns. How many you got, Coach? 12, 15, 20, 30?
No, watch your mouth.
30, 25, 30. 25, 30, okay.
You said watch your mouth. You said
right. He got 170 more than Prime.
Yeah, because the ball was meant for him. The ball wasn't meant for me. I'm just saying,
That's correct.
Just watch your tone.
No. But it was strictly logistics. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Jerry Rice think about this. Jerry Rice has more touchdowns than Lynn Swann and John Stallworth and Drew Pearson. He's got him by himself. 3 other dudes in the hall. My point is because the touchdown numbers are they were so gaudy that the impact was greater there, even though there's never been a player, actually, honestly, that shut a half of a field down. That will never happen again because of what they do this stuff. But for a window of time, that thing over there won't ever happen again. But again, Jerry Rice has 170 more touchdowns.
Make me feel better at the end.
No, I'm always
Jerry, he's our king. Jerry, he's my king. You know, we got about enough of that. Jerry, me, my king.
No.
You know,
I'm trying to imitate Rome.
Prime. You know, it won 80th in Jerry.
80th in Jerry.
Yeah, it won 80th in Jerry. It won 80th in Rice on here. You know, you got one more time, dog, to be Jerry praises on 21st and Prime. Just letting you know. Just, you know, going too far with the stuff, man. It's second time. It is second time.
So Ron, you understand what, because it's about what the numbers will do, what the impact is all I'm getting at. And that you ask that question, that's why tight ends, like I said, there's 3-4 dudes And they've always been 3-4 tight ends. When Gatesy was doing his thing, it was Gatesy and Tony Gonzalez and a few others. They was getting paid, but wasn't nobody else getting paid because the only people going to get paid, quarterback, them dudes outside, tight end, and the corners.
Speaking of that, you know Aaron Rodgers could opt out this year and make $18 million.
Yeah.
Would you do that, Ron?
I mean, I'd take the 18 million, but I mean, this guy's getting older. I don't know how many years he has left.
5 to 7.
He could opt out and make 18, no repercussions.
That's what he needs to do. That's what to hold his position, because see, here's the thing about it, Ron. If he decides to hold out, he gets 0. But because of COVID and the circumstances around that, he can opt out, keep those bonuses. I think it's 10 million and 8 million, such and such and like that. So he'll make 18 because he's put his foot in the ground now, Coach. He can't come back.
Like when you make that, do you go pick it up or do they send it to you?
They wired to you.
They wired, because I just thought it'd be awkward if you go in there and get it.
Hey, Ron.
You just go get your 18.
Ron,
I'm here for my 18.
Oh, hey, Ron, this is the best one here. Okay, so we're in Atlanta, right? It's his rookie year, I want to say.
It may be a little truth to this lie, but go ahead.
His rookie year. So, back then, they just pay you with your check. So this one here got about 2 or 3 game checks in his locker. He just, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that's in the locker. They just up in the little box. He had a little key on it, or a little code or something.
Just
hundreds of
stacked up.
thousands of dollars back then, 30, 20-something years ago. They just up in there, not drawing interest on all it. Well, let me go on. I guess let me put this in the bank now. Somebody put that in the bank.
Were you still what? Are you spending the endorsement money? What was going on there? You just didn't feel like it?
True. I've always had priorities. It's so funny that this is, Jamie, this is a true story. This is when God is really, really good. Mm-hmm. Several years ago for the NFL Network, I don't know how they mixed up and messed up. They forgot to pay me for an entire year. And it's an oversight on their behalf as well as my behalf. It's because, I go to work. I ain't thinking about that because it's direct deposit. He's going right in. So I wasn't checking that. And they called one day and said, Mr. Sanders, we apologize. I said, apologize for what? We forgot to pay you for an entire year. I said, cool, just wire it. But after I said just wire it, I was like, Lord, thank you. Because not to flinch or to miss it.
Yes.
It's a blessing. That's a tremendous blessing that you forgot to pay me for a whole year. So when that ship landed, it was like like in a church. But that was a blessing. True story. That was a tremendous blessing.
Coach, how do you make sure that if you're not paying, because it's a huge blessing to not have to pay crazy attention to your finances, but how do you make sure that somebody's not getting in there, a financial advisor taking a 5% here and
Coach
there?
Know where his money is now.
I know where it is.
Coach know where his money is now.
I know where that y'all. Where that y'all. Where that y'all. Where that y'all.
You know where his money is.
We good with that. We're pretty good.
Okay. I just want to make sure because you just want to make sure nobody's buying Amazon purchases on your account or subscribing to Uber Eats.
I'm so cheap, Ron. If there's a derogatory purchase, Amex calls me immediately. I know that ain't you. I know that ain't you. Mr. Sanders, did you just purchase some alcohol from your convenience store? Y'all don't drink.
No, it's not you, unless it's a Heineken 0.0.
No. It's funny that they know my patterns. And yeah, they know. They call immediately. We know this ain't you.
Yeah, my credit card tried to do that to me this week. I was out on another bachelor party. I picked up cigarettes for everybody, and the cigarette store said, "We know you don't smoke." They declined the card or whatever, but I was just picking them up for the fellas. I just wanted the guys.
They know your patterns.
Exactly, they know, and I respect.
Speaking of credit card, you've been following this Britney Spears story.
Yes, I have.
That is, it's for those who don't know. Basically, Britney now having, she's having, what's the hearing called? The
emancipation?
Yes, and basically to see what her competence is, and she wants to take back control of her empire. And it's a real horrifying story from the standpoint that, for example, as a father, they don't even talk. He can't even communicate. But as a father, he feels that he's got to be the custodian of her empire because, you know, given her circumstances and her mental
given
health.
a history, Jamie, say that. Given the past history.
Her history.
Yeah. Because it got like this for a reason.
Yes.
Okay, let's make sure we quantify that. It got this way for a reason.
But my question is, to me, it seems like now, everything I'm seeing, there is some saner forces here. Is that fair?
You say she's not crazy?
No, no, I'm not saying she's crazy. So I'm going to say it this way. I'm saying it seems like her thought process now could be where it needs to be.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Would too. If I'm going to court for $50 million, I'm gonna go in there with a brand new suit on. I'm gonna look like one of the Huxtables. Trust me. So we don't know, Jamie, until pressure's applied. We don't know. Now, the craziest thing that I heard through this case was that she had something inserted in her.
Yeah,
where she can't get pregnant and she wants that removed.
Yeah.
Dude, where they do that at?
It's an IUD. They've been doing that for years. I think it's IUD called. Yeah.
When?
They've been clamping that thing up in there. That's been around for 30, 40 years, man.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, there were several things, several alternatives. One, man could get snipped, right?
What you mean a man could get snipped?
Can you have children again?
I'm Billy Blanks. I'm talking about her.
Right. What I'm saying, what I'm saying
Billy Blanks.
on the pro side.
And I ain't talking about no typo either. Go ahead.
But they had their own solutions too. You got
but I didn't know that they had that. Like, how can you order that done to somebody else?
That's the question. But because she wanted to have, she wanted a big family, and I think she has 4 or 5 kids now. But she wanted to have like 12. She wanted to be the Octomom times 2.
But she ain't built like that, dog. I can see why they did that.
Oh no, she built like that.
No, what I'm saying is, if you backing that thing up and you ain't ready to take care of her.
Oh, but that's Britney Spears. She got the money to take care of 1,000 kids.
Yeah, but the time, we can have the money, it's one thing, but the time and the love.
She wanted it though, is the point. That's what.
Yeah, but Jamie, it's a lot of things we want that we can't handle.
Well, no, they could handle. If you got money, you can handle kids.
No, yeah. Everybody ain't getting the love, dog. Just because I could produce a multiplicity of kids.
No. I'm talking about, for example. Okay, slow down. Coach Prime. And Rone, you've been out to the Coach Prime operation.
Yes, beautiful.
It's an operation, correct?
Yes, it's a compound.
So if he's needing staffing to help him bringing more kids in, he's got the resources to bring the staffing in to help him take care of the kids. She's in the same.
It's not sound though, because all the kids, they still ain't gonna get the love. That's
okay.
What the father's saying.
But that's what. But if this is what, it's just like the Octomom and some of these other people have 5, 6 kids. If that's what they choose to do, just like you said, how can you put the IUD or whatever it's called in them and force them to do that? How can you tell a person they can't have kids? That's a tough.
When they're not qualified to, you can tell a person they can't have kids.
Why would you not be qualified? Qualified starts with one simple thing. Do you have the resources to take care of them? And then the second thing I'll give you
is not resources. It's time, love, and affection. It has nothing to do with resources.
That's not the court system. Don't care about that. Court system don't care nothing about that. No. That's not what we not talk about. But her rights are her rights for her reason. And all I'm saying is there's a difference between what you and I feel value-wise. But in every single day situation, people are entitled to have as many kids as they want, and nobody.
Who put the thing in her, Jamie?
Who? Her father had Dr. Sarah or somebody, a gynecologist.
Yeah, but she had the degree.
No, she didn't.
So they just knocked you out and went up in that thing like Leon as a Kennedy. You see how I pulled that thing back? See how I pulled that thing?
That was a little callback.
You need to stop, though.
He didn't hang up in there like that.
He didn't have all that.
He was hanging off the back of it. Like
the whole arm in there?
No, he ain't had a whole arm in there. Jamie,
oh my God. Oh my God.
I actually seen it when I was at Florida State. I actually seen the video when I was there too, Jay. That's when I first discovered it.
I'm gonna find that video. I'm finding that video. But I think that there's a lot of people who aren't Jamie's definitely going to hell. But there's a lot of people who aren't qualified to have kids, and her only sin in this scenario is that she has money. Most people who are broke, nobody cares about whether they have kids or not because no one's even taking an interest in that. But I think that people should be allowed to be crazy if they're crazy. Like if you're crazy and you're rich.
There are lines, in my opinion. I'm sorry. You can't be crazy. Like, in other words, her father, I believe, is right in wanting to protect her estate and her legacy and the resources that are being generated. That she's still getting Mouseketeer money and stuff. She's getting royalties and songs and all that stuff. And Michael Jackson was an example. He would buy a $10 million painting, and the next day, and when Michael Jackson was alive, he was close to being in debt. But as soon as he passes away, now he's got $1 billion empire just based on the royalties and this, that, and the other. So the father, rightfully so, is trying to protect the assets. But the question becomes, that the intrusion about the children, that, to your point, that's a lot.
But I think as far as
Raw, I just got a text from Dana's mom.
Shut up.
No lie.
Dana's mom?
Oh my God, it's a long one.
She has your number?
Yes. I told you. We talk about Dana. Dana's mom, this is Susan, Dana's mom. I just want to thank you for looking out for our guy and being such an incredible role model for him. I'm confused as you are about the kooky stuff he's doing. But we both know there's a good guy underneath Dana Beers' mess. Please let this crazy stage be over soon.
No way.
Anyway, I just wanted to let you know you made a huge impact on Dana Dane, and we both are so grateful the paths has crossed. His return to Mississippi cannot come soon enough. Also, I'm so incredibly inspired by your major mission to support underserved colleges and the kids. You're making a huge difference. Thank you, Mr. Sanders. You're a good man. You're a good. We always say you're a good man.
You're a good man.
Dana's mom, dog. Dana's mom.
What? Wait, but I don't think that Dana thinks that this is a phase. I think that Dana thinks that this is the new Dana, and
he's wrong. You don't think he's kind of lost right now? Like, I think this is hitting him pretty quick. This new fandom.
I have a story that I was going to put on this that I decided not to put on because I wanted to shelter you. But since Dana came up naturally, I'm going to tell both of you this story. He came on to our radio show yesterday, The Yak, and he admitted to doing something in college that I feel uncomfortable even talking about. But he did something, and it wasn't with the Heineken 00. It was with a full beer, and he did something called butt chugging. Do you know what a beer bong is? You know what a beer bong is.
Lord help us.
When Dana Beers, when he was in college, he put a beer bong on the other end, the other opening, and drank a beer that way. And that made me think that this isn't a phase. This is who Dana Beers is. That this is just who this man is.
This is who he is.
Rone, let me ask you a question. There was a point where you were Adam for Rome, weren't you?
Yes,
and
yes.
then one day you turned into Rome, correct? There was one day. You remember when Rome was born, don't you?
Yeah, it's like how Coach said, like you don't give yourself your own nickname, and so it was like a nickname that was kind of given to me, like it was in high school, but it was kind of while I was hitting.
Let me rephrase that. The Rome that's on Barstool now, that's emerging and blossoming.
Yeah.
Okay. That happened in a singular moment that you remember. This happened like right here, right?
Yeah. There was a battle rap. It was a battle rap moment.
But it happened.
Right. Yes.
This is his moment.
When the butt chugging happened,
butt chugging was in college.
No. It's these are things that are now coming out. The butt chugging didn't matter a month ago.
First of all, y'all just brushing by the butt chugging like it's normalcy. I just want to make that.
It is normal.
I just want to make that.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not normal.
You're acting like that's a normal thing.
It's not normal. It's not normal. The fact that you're even both saying the words butt chugging like it's normal is blowing my mind.
Let me ask you this, Rone. How do you know what butt chugging is?
First of all, you just say the word butt chugging.
But because there has been a precedent set numerous times about butt chugging for us to know what a BJ is. We know what a blowjob is because of precedent set.
I've never heard of butt chugging in my life to now.
And I heard of it as a joke. I thought it was just a joke that people joked about. And then I found out that that's how he was actually living his life. I think that some people turn into Dana Beers and some people are born as Dana Beers. And he might have just been born as it.
But you were born. My point to you is you were born as Rone. This is his story and how he was born. So again, because think about it, nobody cared if he told us.
When I get a text from Mama Beers, we gotta have the intervention.
Yes.
This ain't normal.
No.
Mama Beers text me.
So okay, Coach. Now you in the chair. So
She's worried about it.
I heard that. Now, Coach, someone who understands prime. You wrote the book on branding and knowing the moment and creating the moment, making your moment. Why would he go back to the vault when, damn it, this is my time? Why would he go back?
Because there has to be a separation that takes place. See, getting to know Rone like I've gotten to know Rone. There's an Adam and there's a Rone.
There's the same dude.
There's an Adam and there's a Rone.
Right, and I'm saying they both have the same personality. The two people we're talking about. Dana Beers has a different personality too because you just met him.
Dana Beers is Dana Beers.
Now,
I think Dana Beers is Dana Beers.
he was, but primetime was always primetime too.
No, Prime was doing something. Prime is
different.
Prime. There's two different entities.
No, it's a different entity, but still, Prime was always there. Prime was holding up when he was 4 in his mind.
Yeah, but as a separation.
Maybe we just
don't think
need
there's
to
a separation in Dana
Do
Beers.
your job, agent. Hey, you the agent, do your job. That's what your job is to intervene there as his agent and guide him.
I got a call from Mama Beers. I got to
guide him.
Yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a full.
To be Dana too.
Maybe it's not a full intervention, but we just need to tell him. We just need to teach him how to take a break.
You don't need your help, Rone. You don't need your help. You don't need your help. Leave it to Coach. You just keep working on Rone. He don't need your help. You hating. That's what you're doing, Coach. You won't call him hating, Coach. He's hating. You're hating.
Rone told us he butt chug. When somebody's butt chugging at an early age,
butt chugging, Jamie. He's butt chug. He's too young to butt chug.
Jamie, could you imagine what those draws look like at the end of the night?
I've seen some nasty things, and you know what I've seen nasty because you stood there and watched it with me.
That thing was nasty.
That was nasty back there.
That was nasty.
The whole back, the whole situation was nasty.
Oh, by the way, this has nothing to do with nasty. But the gentleman that came out for the Oakland Raiders, I applaud him.
Yes.
You know why I applaud him? You know why I applaud him? Because now he's free to be who he is.
Yes.
And he put football first and lifestyle second. And he's gonna make it. I wish I was his teammate because I would certainly look out for him. Not that he need that, but I would certainly look out for him and make sure everything is copacetic. Ain't no hate, because Jamie, come on, nobody come out and say it. Everybody in the NFL could tell you they can't say, that guy, he should have came out a long time. But we knew.
Right.
We all knew of a couple guys on the team but at that time and era, they weren't gonna come out. Yeah. But we looked out. I know personally, I looked out for them and made sure it wasn't no ignorance of things said or no what they call it, shaming in the locker room or whatever. I wish I was his teammate to make sure of that, and I'm proud of him, man. I really am.
Did people try to shame them? Was there any
No.
like?
No, they wouldn't try to shame him, but it'd be remarks.
Yeah.
It'd be remarks made, like joking remarks, and they don't understand someone could be sensitive about that.
Do you think that the people took them as jokes, or do you think that they wound up feeling offended or could have felt offended?
Well, they know they were jokes, but jokes are offensive at times.
Yes.
One thing about a good joke is a lot of truth in the joke. Yeah. So you got to be careful. But I wish I'm proud of him. I really am. I really am.
And for the reason you say, I think if nothing else, Coach, it goes back to the freedom.
There you go.
Just to be, you can be free who you are and not have to, that's one thing I tell you. If you looking at me judging somebody, I say a lot of different things, but I can't judge nobody because everybody got to do their thing this way. I just talk or this, that, and the other, but I've never tried to, everybody, you live your life. I'm minding my business because Jamie's a mess as it is, as you see every day.
This is what I'm not afraid of, but this is probably what's going to happen, Rone. They're probably going to have curtains now in all showers. See, back in our day, you just went in the shower is open like prison. It's like everything is open, everything is there. Now, in a lot of colleges, you have partitions in showers because of some guys don't want to be seen or whatever. But now I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be prevalent in all locker rooms.
Is that a bad thing?
Excuse me?
Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing?
No, it's not a bad thing, but it's an insecurity thing. It's an insecurity thing with not just guys that has chosen to come out, but guys that don't want to be seen as well. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be prevalent in all locker rooms.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people are entitled to privacy. I still think it's weird that like reporters could just come in while everybody's like ass naked. I think that's kind of weird.
Yeah, they do.
That's a little bit weird. I mean, I think players among each other should be able to have, but I think that like at least let the players put some clothes on maybe before you walk in. But that's maybe players don't care. Maybe they don't care at all. But
well, I've always felt that the league has to do what they do because business is business, and business many times overrides personal preference and things of that nature. But I've always kind of had an issue from the wives, there's supposed to be a sanctity of a relationship between you and your wife, as an example. So nobody is supposed to be able to. My opinion, if your wife wants to keep your junk private, why should somebody else, whoever, be able to see your junk? I've always kind of had that problem with it, but understood the process because, again, that your junk belongs to the girl you're marrying and only her. I'm sorry, not girl, the woman you're marrying. And so that has always been my little, because why does everybody, I mean, they don't have to let anybody in the locker room, first of all. They can have a staging area where everybody comes out, male or female. Why should athletes have to be subjected to,
they should have an area, Jamie. They should have a media area. They should have a media area.
Why does it have to be the locker room?
It should have a media area, but the reason it's the locker room is because they know some guy's going to slip out the other door and the reporters not get an opportunity to see them. That's why it has to be the locker room. It should be a media area.
They can make that entrance, and they find you. They will find you for not making yourself.
It should be a media area where guys.
There just should be, because I do believe at this point in age, everybody needs privacy because privacy just headaches, hassles, people feeling funny about anything, and it makes it simpler that way.
That's true.
But no, it's a great thing that our guy Carl Nassib has come out, and much success to him. He already got the bag. He got like $24 million off of him.
But see, that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud that football came first. Football came first. I'm going to be this guy. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to prove to you that I'm going to play this game. I'm going to get in and stabilize myself then. And I like the mental side of that. I love that because people brought up Michael Sam and all that. And in that aspect, a lot of people thought that the other thing came first. My preference came first,
right,
then football.
Right. And
that's where I got misconstrued. That's
say
where I got
again, Coach, about that. I think say that again because I think that went pretty fast about the other perspective, Michael Sam's position and how you feel he approached it as opposed to.
I don't think he necessarily chose.
But
that's how that route came out.
That's how
I'm coming out. Then I'm going to establish myself. This gentleman established himself, and he came out. Because as long as the football come first, you can always have respect for your peers. Let the football come first. Michael Jordan was on a pace that it was going to be hard to overcome because all the press and enormity of the coming out came so hard. You got to be a bona fide dog to overcome his time because of all the uproar and the scrutiny and the love and the aspirations that he had. It was hard to live up to that, man. I think Michael Sams could have played the game, could have contributed to someone's program, but a lot of people didn't want to take on that at the time because he was a forerunner. I think
part of it, to go with your point, to finish up what you're saying, was I think that the team didn't want to take the mission on. The team wanted the football player to come on, and then it happened. Whatever happened, and he wanted to try to bring the movement before, and not the football player coming first.
Football had to come first, man.
That's why the teams ran. A couple of things here, Coach. So your boy, I'm gonna let you interpret this. All right, you guys interpret what I'm getting ready to tell. So Dak Prescott last week mentioned, said, "Boy, I tell you what, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins. That's got to be the priority. That's gonna make us what we need to be." Now he didn't mention Zeke. Now
he mentioned Zeke last week. You got to stop.
Yeah, but when he mentioned Zeke last week. That leads to this point. When he mentioned Zeke, he said, "Wrong. Zeke's now." Today looks like he's in the best shape of Zeke's life today. So I'm just, there's something going on there.
He's talking about the linemen because they were probably pissed off that he was talking about Zeke. And now he's going to have to talk about Zeke again because everybody's pissed off that he's talking about.
No, he told Zeke he was fat without saying he was fat last week. He did too. Once you say shoot it straight. Okay, I'm sorry, Rone, I'm sorry. Rone, this year, I just got to tell you, man, you are in the best shape of your life, man. I got to tell you, man. I'm watching you. I'm seeing last year, but right now.
He did not say last year. He did not say nothing like last year.
Might have been the last couple of seasons. But the point,
Coach, I just said that you look like you're looking trim right now. Did you take that as me saying that you used to be fat, or did you?
No,
it was just a compliment.
I take that as you said you got to find her. You really got to find her.
That's all I'm saying.
So you don't take it as, dog, if you was in shape the last couple of seasons instead of some of the stuff you've been doing.
No.
Okay.
Not whatsoever.
And
this goes back to the conversation about the tight ends. These guys are the two tackles and the best guard in the game, or one of the best guards in the game. These are the guys who are impacting the quarterback. He better be looking out for his offensive lineman, right, Jamie? You're an O-line guy. Come on. Jamie,
what about this one? A bidding war for Robert Griffin, RG3?
Yeah.
Between ESPN and Fox?
Yes. So RG3, and you've seen him. By the way, Dion, so just so you know it, first introduced me to RG3.
Okay.
So this is, so we were, like I said, we've been together forever, so he said, we were probably said, man, have you seen this kid down there at Baylor? And boy, I mean, did he average like 40 yards a touchdown throw or something crazy? No, it was
incredible.
It was insane. Now the point for RG3 was the fact that he didn't evolve. That was his major mistake, which many quarterbacks make. But Fox and ESPN, so he's not signed with the team, but they had him in an audition. And one of the people said, it's the best audition they have ever seen by a player.
So if you're saying, should he just walk off the field right now and go into the booth?
Well, I don't think he may not have a choice. But the other question, I guess the question is, did he deserve this? Do any of these guys ever deserve another chance?
A chance for what?
To play again. It seems like you get one shot.
When he just on a roster?
No, he's a backup now. He hasn't, he's a backup. He's a backup.
Yeah.
That's all he is now.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, for example, okay, Jameis Winston's a guy. Now, what's the name? The quarterback in Detroit, your former quarterback, he got a second chance. But it seems like some guy, Teddy Bridgewater's had 3-4 chances. But it just seemed like it's kind of the reason I mentioned this because of Rich Gannon. It took Rich Gannon, God knows how long, and then he was the best in the game for a 2, 3, 4 year run. And you think of a mature and more mature RG3.
RG3 would never get another chance to start. Let's stop the foolishness.
No,
no, stop. They'll never get this man another chance to start in the NFL. Therefore, if he's like that in the booth, God bless him. I wish him the best. He's always been articulate. He's always been savvy. Quarterbacks can see the game certain ways that they probably couldn't see when they're on the field in the pocket, but they can see the game better up in the booth. I'm proud of RG3, man. I hope it works out for him. I really do.
Also, he was drafted like almost 10 years ago. He had a chance to a crack at the starting job. He started 5 games in Cleveland in 2016, and then
has it been 10 years?
He was drafted in 2012. It's been a long time. He's had a lot of cracks at this. It's been a long time.
He's getting old. Geez.
Yeah, we are.
Everybody is, man.
Yeah, we are.
But it's better than the alternatives.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, we better end the show then, so we don't get any older.
Yeah, that wraps us up. I'm still stuck on the butt chugging. I ain't never heard of that. I don't want to see it. But I'm getting ready to call Mama Beers right now.
Coach, I want you to talk. I'm just telling you, Rone is hating. I'm just. Come on now.
Rone has no hate in his spirit.
Rone is hating right. Hey,
Rone has no hate.
Let me remind you, Rone. Let me remind you, Coach. So remember, the first topic was one of the dudes was hanging. Who's Dave's boy? Whoever one of Dave's guys is who was getting
Gaz.
Yeah. So he had that problem there, and now we got Dana Beers. So they're talking about Dana as the. And there's some hating going on, dog. I'm just telling you.
No, ain't no hate.
Jamie,
you go wrong. This wraps us up. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'm getting ready to call Mama Beers. All right.
Deuces.
God bless.